Before this video gets started, I just wanted to say thank you to all channel members for supporting the channel. It truly means a lot. If you want to become a channel member, hit the link down in the description. Now, let's get on with today's video. Yo, what's going on, guys? Pineapple Sway. Today we're going to be talking about all of the known cut content from Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League. Not necessarily content that didn't make the final cut, but content that was scrapped because obviously we all know what happened to this game. It only got 1 year of post-launch content. So we're going to be talking about some post-launch content for year 2 and the cut content, the supposed cut content. I'm not going to leak my source and where I got this information from. I'm not honestly sure if he wants me to share his name publicly, but you know who you are, and I appreciate you for giving me this information because it's really cool, and it's really cool to see what this game could have been if it did get a year 2, what could have been, and how things may have been different if Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League was, critically acclaimed well and people actually liked the game. But let's get right into it. This is just going to be stuff that was, cut and just didn't really make the final, that final stretch, because obviously we all know we didn't get a year 2. And lastly, I just wanted to say that a lot of this unused content, the guy that I got this information from, he plans on making an episode 9 mod for the game so we can actually see how this content would have played out in Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League, which is really cool. I don't know when or what time he plans on releasing it, but he did mention that, hey, he's going to try and put all this stuff together to give us an episode 9 for the game, because I feel like this game is missing a lot. But let's get started just with meta changes. The year 2 content of the game was going to be much more melee focused than the gunplay. As most of you guys know, a lot of people's problems with Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League is it doesn't revolve around the old style Arkham combat. It's much more gunplay focused, and it's a little difficult, and there was going to be a noticeable shift in gear and mechanics to make melee more of a viable option, and we've already kind of seen that with episode 8. A lot of the melee stuff is a lot better, and it just flows well with the game to help melee be more of a better option instead of just relying on grenades and gunplay. And from what we know and from what he was able to sort of pull together is that the release order of the year 2 characters was going to be Killer Croc, which Killer Croc we kind of knew back way in, I want to say, December from Miller Ross, although Miller doesn't leak Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League anymore, but he claimed that Killer Croc was going to be year 2 content. Obviously, knowing now that we're not going to get year 2 content, hey, we're free to talk about this stuff. And it was going to be Killer Croc, Katana, which was going to be a big one, Black Manta, and Poison Ivy. Now, I'm not sure if it was going to be an Elseworlds Poison Ivy, but I've heard in the rumor mill that Poison Ivy was eventually going to grow into an adult. I don't know how true that is, but that's what I've heard. New Infamy sets, which this is, 100% true because I've seen some of these Infamy sets of what could have been. I also know, too, there's some other Infamy sets that didn't end up making it. Cheetah, Ocean Master, Sinestro, and Black Adam. Plus, we are going to see a new Elseworlds new Elseworlds and a new weapon manufacturer. The Elseworlds would have been Atlantis, probably for a Black Manta themed season, and then Themyscira to go along with Cheetah's set. We also have some other infamous sets that didn't make it, such as Ra's al Ghul, which I believed was going to be the episode 8 gear set, but ended up being Libra. And then there's also Doomsday that didn't make it. There was going to be a new affliction. It was going to be stun and concussion, basically exactly what it sounds like. Boosted melee damage to enemies, and it was going to tie into the shift to the melee combat for the year 2 game, since Rocksteady did listen to a lot of fans talking about how the gunplay just didn't really flow well with the game, and they wanted to go back to more of that well-known melee-based game. Would have been cool to see this stun, concussion, affliction, and now we're going to be talking about probably the cool part, or really the best part, which kind of gets me excited a little bit, is new skins. And from what he's told me, this is actually some good news, because he's heard from different sources as well that these skins still might come out at some point. And obviously he told me to take it with a grain of salt, so obviously I'm telling you the same exact thing. Just take this with a grain of salt. It seems to still be in the cards, though, of a Rebirth, medieval skins, which was in the concept art for episode 7, which I know exactly what he's talking about. For episode 7, Jim Lee and Wild West. And apparently, movie skins were actually never on the table for Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League from what he was able to look into, which to me is an absolutely missed opportunity, but it is what it is. I think the Suicide Squad can have benefited from some movie skins, but then again, their movie counterparts aren't exactly popular. I would say, other than Will Smith's Deadshot and Margot Robbie as Harley Quinn, everyone else is kind of just forgettable. And then we would have gotten new Justice League fights that include Aquaman, Wonder Woman, and Batwoman, the drowned variant. Not really sure exactly what the drowned variant means, but I also have seen different concept art, and I think Batwoman the Drowned is in Injustice 2, the mobile version. So, yeah, and he also told me that he will give me some more stuff as well. But I thought I would just share this with you guys, not necessarily to be like, oh, feel bad for us because we didn't get our year 2 of content. A lot of people just like to say that Rocksteady had no idea what they were doing and that they were kind of just wasting their time, and why did they do this, or why did they make this game? Um, and to that point, it seems like Rocksteady honestly was building and preparing this live service elements for this game since 2019, since 2020. They were really trying to put this together to make the best live service game possible. And it seemed like they just had a ton of content pushed out and ready to go. Obviously, we all know the unfortunate side of Warner Brothers saying, "Hey, you guys got to cut the production," and it all just kind of falls back on to, you know, man, if things went well, this could have been a generational game. It sucks that Rocksteady has had to go through so much stuff to even get this game pushed out. And we all know now that they are working on their future projects, which I don't know exactly what they're working on, but I look forward to what they're working on. My hope is still a Superman or a Justice League game, and I'll probably talk more about that soon of what I want and what I think they're making, which I think they're making a Justice League game just because of the ending of Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League, but at the same time, I also feel that there might be a reset in the Arkham universe. Not entirely sure, though. Could be wrong, but we'll see. Anyways, though, what do you guys think of this year 2 content, this sort of cut content that didn't make it, just because, hey, we didn't get a year 2? It would have been really interesting to see, and it sounds a lot better than what we got from year 1, especially when it comes to characters and the gear sets. It would have been really nice to see this play out, but hey, that's the thing. Anyways, though, hope you guys enjoyed this video. This is Pineapple Sway. Peace out.